This boy is sleeping in the crocodile's mouth. The mother screamed after seeing this scene. Rescue her son immediately. When the boy went to school, the crocodile took a leisurely bath in the bathroom, and mom decided to fight him to the death. The crocodile got scared, immediately covered his body with a towel. This alligator is actually the boy's pet, to please the boy's mother. The crocodile sang and taught her how to cook delicious food. The two eventually became good friends. But the question remains, how did he become good friends with the boy, and when did it all start? The story begins with a magician who buys a baby crocodile and names him Lyle. He takes Lyle home and introduces him to his new surroundings. The magician notices that whenever he plays music, Lyle starts to dance and sing along. The magician joins in, and together they make a fantastic duo. In that moment, he gets $1 million idea. The next step is to rent the theater for their new team performance. Since Hector has run out of money, he puts up his home as collateral. After countless rehearsals and plastering the city with posters, the day of the show finally arrives. However, Lyle gets stage fright and freezes in front of the audience, causing the performance to be a complete failure. As a result, Hector loses the house. Determined to recover some money, he leaves Lyle hidden in the attic and heads out on the road to try and earn it back. 1 year later, a family moves to Hector's old house. Mr. and Mrs. Prim with their son Josh suffers from anxiety and a bunch of phobias, so he isn't very happy about moving to a big city full of dangers. Later that night, Josh hears some weird noises start coming from the attic. Josh takes Loretta the cat with him to investigate, and they bump into Lyle the crocodile. Loretta immediately hisses at him and attacks, so when Lyle opens his mouth in surprise, the cat accidentally jumps inside and gets swallowed. Josh yells in worry, scaring Lyle away, and now Josh chases after Lyle through the city until he reaches a scary alley where he's approached by a huge man that tries to rob him. Lyle can't bring himself to leave Josh in danger, so he scares the robber away with a loud roar. After the man runs away, the roar helps Lyle throw Loretta up, and their Josh and Lyle become friends. The next morning, Mrs. Prim looks for Josh and discovers he is sleeping in the crocodile's mouth. The mother screamed after seeing this scene. Rescue her son immediately, so Lyle follows them and sings a bit to show he's harmless. Mrs. Prim still doesn't buy it and drags Josh out of the house to take him to school while the crocodile took a leisurely bath in the bathroom, and Mrs. Prim decided to fight him to the death. The crocodile got scared, immediately covered his body with a towel. To please the Josh's mother, the crocodile sang and taught her how to cook delicious food. The two eventually became good friends, and soon she's baking and singing with Lyle, having fun like she hadn't had in a while. She also starts painting again, and when she goes to bed, she's so happy with her life again that Mr. Prim begins getting suspicious. When Josh comes back from school, he finds his mother singing with Lyle and loves it. Animal control arrives to capture Lyle. Josh begs Lyle to sing to show he's kind, but Lyle, too nervous to sing in front of strangers, stays silent and is taken away to the zoo. The next day, the Prim family visits Lyle in his enclosure. Josh wants to help Lyle escape, but his parents suggest it might be best for him to be with other crocodiles. Josh, feeling hurt, starts talking about how Lyle made him braver, and his emotions lead him to a panic attack, causing him to faint. That night, Lyle sits alone in a corner of his enclosure, singing to himself since he feels isolated from the other crocodiles. Meanwhile, Josh falls asleep in tears on Lyle's bed. The next day at school, a classmate notices Josh looking sad. She tells him a story about her pet rattlesnake, who went missing for 6 weeks. She thought he was gone forever, but her neighbors eventually found him. She tells Josh that miracles can happen. Determined to show the world who Lyle truly is, Josh and his friend break Lyle out of the zoo. As they make their way out, they're met by a crowd of police officers. Just then, a bus promoting a talent show drives by, and Josh realizes it's their chance. He and Lyle hop on a bike, and although Josh is nervous, Lyle reminds him to be brave by showing him the hero card he had gifted him. Josh wobbles on the bike, but they eventually reach the stage, where the audience panics upon seeing a real crocodile. Lyle freezes, scared by the reaction and the police approaching. To encourage him, Josh starts singing on his own, despite being nervous and not a great singer. Seeing Josh's courage, Lyle overcomes his fear and starts singing too. The audience and judges are charmed, and the police finally step back. A few dates later, the Prims leave on a vacation, bringing Lyle with them.